What's up, world? Welcome to another TYSK Report episode. Let's go ahead and dive into our first article involving Apple Vision Pro. Apple Vision Pro helps to train Nvidia robots. According to the firm's recent CES announcements, spatial computing and Nvidia's Omniverse platform will play a significant role in training the firm's robotics, environmental AI, and self-driving car frameworks, which need to analyze and understand real-world spaces in order to operate correctly. Nvidia developers can leverage Apple Vision Pro devices in their Omniverse workflow to capture human movements as 3D spatial data, or in other words, a digital twin that a robot can replicate in a simulation or a real-life scenario. Combined with Omniverse, Apple Vision Pro, and Nvidia's broader developer ecosystem, they combine hardware and software to create the future of work and the role of robotics. XR plays a pivotal role in capturing crucial data for this journey. Alongside the work Nvidia is doing to secure the future of workplace robotics, with partial thanks to XR, the firm also introduced the new Omniverse spatial streaming to Apple Vision Pro at CES 2025, which supports developers in creating applications for the immersive streaming of large-scale industrial digital twins. So that's just some of the latest news when it comes to the Apple Vision Pro and Nvidia, and this is nothing new where developers and people within this space are using the Apple Vision Pro, because if you can see in this video right here with Unitree Robotics, this person is using the Apple Vision Pro to train the Unitree robot. Now, after reading this article, I do wonder, many people in different videos and articles have stated that AI is going to replace lots of jobs, but also bring in millions and millions of new jobs. So with this Apple Vision Pro, will this device be utilized to create millions and millions of teleoperator jobs where those people are training the humanoid robots, as was shown in that Unitree Robotics video? Now, Elon Musk did talk about how over the next 20 years, there's going to be at least 10 billion humanoid robots on the planet. So over time, if more of these humanoid robots are supposed to be out in the world doing different things, they're going to need some training. Will a teleoperator position become the norm where those people who are in that position train these humanoid robots to do these different tasks? So that's just me thinking outside the box, because when they do say it's going to bring in all these different types of jobs, I'm wondering what these jobs are going to be and what they're going to look like. So maybe this is going to be one of those jobs where a teleoperator who's controlling humanoid robots through a Apple Vision Pro or a virtual reality headset is going to be that position that many people could have in the future. So we shall see if this is going to happen, and I'll make sure to be here to cover it if it does occur. Let's move on to the next article talking about China and satellites. China launches refueling demo. China kicked off its 2025 launch activities with the successful launch of the Shenzhen-25 satellite, aiming to advance key technologies for on-orbit refueling and extending satellite lifespans, Space News reports. The satellite launched on a Long March 3B into a geostationary transfer orbit, suggesting the unspecified target spacecraft for the refueling demo test might be in geostationary orbit more than 22,000 miles over the equator. So to give us some more insight related to this article, let's check out this video right here from SpaceEye News and discover some things that we don't know.
On January 6, 2025, China made history by launching the Shenzhen-25 satellite, the first major space mission of the year, aboard the Long March 3B rocket. Shenzhen-25 entered geostationary transfer orbit (GTO), where it began its groundbreaking mission to test on-orbit refueling and life extension technologies. These technologies have the potential to redefine the way satellites operate, making space missions more cost-effective, efficient, and sustainable. Traditionally, satellites are limited by their onboard fuel. Once the fuel is depleted, even if all other systems remain functional, the satellite becomes unusable. Operators face two options: replace it with a costly new satellite or abandon it as space debris. With the Shenzhen-25 mission, China is tackling this issue head-on by exploring how satellites can be refueled and maintained directly in orbit. The Shenzhen-25 mission isn't just a technological breakthrough, it's also a strategic move with far-reaching implications for the global space race. On-orbit refueling and life extension technologies are at the forefront of a growing competition among nations to master satellite servicing. While these innovations promise significant civilian benefits, their potential military applications have garnered attention and concern worldwide. To understand the importance of these technologies, it's crucial to consider their dual-use nature. On one hand, refueling and maintaining satellites can extend the lifespan of civilian satellites used for communications, navigation, and Earth observation. On the other hand, the same technologies could be adapted for military purposes, such as servicing reconnaissance satellites or even disabling adversary satellites in times of conflict. This dual-use capability makes missions like Shenzhen-25 a subject of intense scrutiny. China's advancements in this field position it as a leader in space innovation. Similar projects are underway in other countries, including the United States, where Northrop Grumman is developing its Mission Robotic Vehicle MRV, scheduled for launch in 2026. However, Shenzhen-25 gives China a strategic advantage by demonstrating these capabilities first. This head start could shape the future of space operations, influencing international policies and partnerships.
So after reading the article and watching that news, I could definitely understand why these different countries are looking to be out into space and creating a space force or a team like that, because I believe for some reason in the future, the way our devices are going to be connected is through satellite connectivity, and the T-Mobiles or the Verizons or the AT&Ts are going to be phased out. So if we are using satellite connectivity, if those satellites are knocked out by another country, that is going to be very detrimental to that country whose satellite was knocked out. Let's move on to the next article talking about Hyundai. Hyundai just launched its cheapest EV in Japan, starting at only $18,000. The new Hyundai Enster EV is the most affordable electric car in its segment, even cheaper than BYD's Dolphin. The Enster EV is Hyundai's fourth electric car and could be its biggest hit so far. Hyundai unveiled the Enster for the first time at the Busan Mobility Show in Korea last summer. It's already rolling out in Europe and Korea. Powered by a 49 kilowatt battery, the Enster is rated up to 195 miles driving range in Korea. The low-cost EV is available in Japan with 42 or 49 kilowatt battery options. Buyers in Japan can choose from 3 trims with prices ranging from $18,000 to $22,700. Hyundai's new EV will also compete with Japan's top-selling electric car, the Nissan Sakura, which costs around $16,500. So with this article, we can definitely see that over in the Eastern Hemisphere, EV adoption is picking up even more. You have different traditional companies putting out different electric vehicle models. Then you also have the actual electric vehicle companies doing the same thing, but are also really dominating the space, making it challenging for the traditional companies such as the Hyundais, the Volkswagens, and many others. But one thing to point out related to this when it comes to here in the US, I wonder if EV adoption is going to come through making subscription-based payments on electric vehicles. With the transportation space continuing to transform and change over time with the implementation of robo-taxis, and with the younger generation not that big on owning their own vehicle, if no one is going to be purchasing them, offering them the opportunity to subscribe to a subscription and pay for the vehicle based on when they want to use it, that could possibly be the actual model that's going to create that EV adoption that many electric vehicle companies and people building out the electric vehicle infrastructure are looking for. So this is just me looking at this from a different perspective and a different angle. And as time moves along, we will find out if EV adoption will pick up here in the US. Let's move on to the next article. Vision Pro knockoff gets high praise from former Quest engineer. China-based headset creator Play4 Dream had its sights on bringing the heavily Vision Pro inspired mixed reality headset to the West. Launching a Kickstarter campaign in September, Play4 Dream MR went on to garner $292,000 US. Play4 Dream MR has packed in a laundry list of modern XR features, including a Snapdragon XR2 Plus Gen 2 chipset running Android 15, dual micro OLED displays, eye tracking, auto IPD adjustment, wired and wireless PC streaming, and also a Quest Pro inspired rear-mounted battery and touch-style controls. Former Quest engineer Amanda Watson got a chance to go hands-on with Play4 Dream's MR headset, noting in an X post it was absolutely the best all-around HMD demo she saw on the floor. Watson also reported its touch-style controllers were also very good. They said hand tracking exists, but they didn't demo it. Notably, the headset's pancake lenses had excellent distortion correction, which Watson says is the biggest thing to her personally. Play4 Dream MR doesn't have a firm release date or pricing yet. However, the company has said it will come in under $2,000. So that's some news related to virtual reality headsets. We do hear a lot about the Apple Vision Pros and the Meta Quest headsets, and in this video right here, I talked about the recent Sony headset that's coming to market. So it looks like different companies are moving forward with their headsets. From my perspective, it's great to see that more companies are being talked about in the virtual reality space, and over time, I believe this year, we could see the usage pick up, the use cases pick up, and more people pick up one from a store or online to try out in their home. Let's move on to the next article talking about IBM and quantum computing. IBM quantum computer boosting AI to improve antibiotic treatment. Cleveland Clinic researchers are integrating quantum computing with machine learning to predict the most effective antibiotic treatment for urinary tract infections. The initiative, among the first to apply quantum-enabled machine learning in medicine, aims to enhance patient outcomes and combat antibiotic resistance. The researchers are using Cleveland Clinic's on-site IBM Quantum System 1, the world's first quantum computer dedicated to healthcare research. Traditionally, identifying the appropriate antibiotic for UTI requires approximately 3 days for urine culture results. During this period, prescribers use their judgment but fail about 30% of the time to effectively treat the infection. To address this, the research team trained machine learning algorithms on more than 4.7 million antibiotic susceptibility classifications from urine cultures collected over a decade. The algorithm demonstrated high accuracy across 11 tested antibiotics and outperformed physician-prescribed treatments in providing adequate coverage. This advancement could make personalized medicine more accessible, particularly in underserved populations and smaller clinics. So that's some news related to IBM and quantum computing. Now, as quantum computing is supposed to be this very ultimate machine that is going to be able to do all these types of things, as it begins to be utilized for more and more real-world use cases, could we one day see quantum computing being utilized where each person on the planet is going to have medicine specifically prescribed to them based on their DNA and what's best for them? And also with that, quantum computing could also be utilized to create a health plan specifically for that person where they're not able only to improve their health, but also extend their ability to live a healthier lifestyle and live longer on this planet. So as time moves along, I'm interested to see what quantum computing is going to do, especially this year in 2025. And as more news arises, I'll make sure to keep you updated. In the next article, we have Suzuki showcases autonomous robotics at CES 2025. Japanese automaker Suzuki marked its first appearance at CES with a booth that featured a number of innovative vehicles and ideas. Among these were the versatile micro e-mobility platform concept, an electrically powered unit being developed as a drive system for a range of different robotic applications. The company said the platform can be paired with autonomous vehicles or AI across a number of different areas, including logistics, monitoring, and even construction, to provide cutting-edge robotic features. An example of that would be an autonomous snow clearer. This vehicle was developed by Everblue Technologies with the simple premise to clear snow as soon as it starts to ensure that too much never piles up. The platform also can be used by self-driving bots for last-mile deliveries. Here, Suzuki demonstrated its potential via a product from another Tokyo company, Lambi, the result of a partnership first announced in 2023. Suzuki's design and development of the platform was done in tandem with Lambi's focus on autonomous technology and efforts to establish a delivery infrastructure while studying the common use of parts for both bots and wheelchairs to reduce manufacturing costs and production. So it looks like Suzuki got the memo from the likes of Toyota, who also is exploring getting their foot wet within the robotic space. And with this company being another company that's building out these robots, I do believe that the delivery space is going to transform in ways that we can't see right now. And how that's going to look in the future, I'm not really sure. But I do believe that lots of drones, autonomous vehicles, and these delivery robots are going to play a part in that transformation. Now let's move on to that article I talked about a little earlier, where we get some insight related to electric vehicles and what people think. Only 5% of U.S. car buyers want an EV, according to a survey. Only 5% of U.S. consumers want their next vehicle to be a battery electric vehicle, according to a new survey by Deloitte. The consulting company gathered data from more than 31,000 people across 30 countries as part of its 2025 Global Automotive Consumer Study. Among U.S. consumers, internal combustion engines remain number one, with 62% indicating their next car will not be electrified. By contrast, only 38% of Chinese consumers want to stick with ICE. Meanwhile, 27% of them want a BEV next. That's a far higher percentage than in other larger nations. In Germany, only 14% want a BEV, BEV. In the UK and Canada, only 8% are BEV bound, and in Japan, the number is a mere 3%. Deloitte suspects that some of this reticence towards BEVs could be due in part to lingering affordability concerns. But in fact, range or the perceived lack thereof remains a greater problem for EV adoption than purchase prices. Just 49% of US consumers listed range as an impediment, with 46% indicating charging times and 44% listing price. So that's just some of the latest news in the world of technology. I hope you enjoyed the video, and to continue to stay informed, like the video, subscribe, and then stay tuned for more.